Arjun, Lakshmi, Vatsala have joined in. So it's streaming on Facebook now. Great. Thank you, Lakshmi. So, Mahesh, should we wait for a while?
Yeah, we are live in Facebook community as well now. So let's just wait for
All right.
30 minutes, 30 seconds, and then you can start.
All right, let's make it 1 minute. I'm just trying to do something. Security and scope testing. Great.
Let me know once you're done.
Right. Okay. So how many participants do we have currently? It's only 3 now, as of now, right? So, or should we wait more, or should we start off?
I think we can start because there are people joining on Facebook.
Okay. I'm just trying to download the PDF. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll be done. Download as PDF. Okay, we're good. Cool. So let me open the Facebook, the test type group as well so that I can see it. Cool. Let me share my screen. Great. Manish, can you please confirm? Okay, if we are, you can see my screen?
Yes, I'm able to see your screen and video 2 is on.
Alrighty. So we are on Zoom as well. And people can ask me questions here on Zoom as well. I'll be picking them up in the end. So we'll start off with this webinar. I have done a previous series as well, like Ask Me Anything on the test tribe itself. And thanks to Mahesh that he invited me to do this webinar for people around the globe or people of the test tribe. So the main motive of this webinar is not in specific structure or something. So it's more about how we can get started with web security or mobile security or anything. in terms of the security aspect. It could be social engineering, how to think security, and where you can start off with. So I have been a hacker since 16, and that was my first hack when I was 16, and it's been like 16 years now. I'm 34 now, so which means it's a half of 34, 17, 16, when I was 16, when I was a kid. So I started really, I did not watch any courses or something, because there were no courses at all when I started. All I used to do was, okay, chat on Yahoo Messenger and meet some people online and try to learn from them and read a lot of documentation. We always think that, okay, documentation is boring. Well, if you practice reading blogs or reading documentation, it has got great amount of uh, diamonds or gold or anything that's valuable. So what I would motivate you to do is go on, read a lot of blogs, watch different videos as well on YouTube, and get some courses from even Udemy or Code Academy, and look into the W3C documentation, which is a World Wide Web consortium. Read everything and try to understand it, or else it's always the bouncer and everything is hot air. So I also run a company called as Work to Code, a bit of marketing here. So we work on secure application development and also the exploratory testing services and also the deeper automation. Uh, we are coders and we are testers and we are engineers, in short. We never segregated ourselves like, okay, I'm a manual tester or something, like how the world is screwed up now, saying that manual testing, because I never found anything like manual. There is no manual programming, or there is no, it's the brain that's used in every different profession. So let's move ahead. So super warning, okay, you can just ignore this because it speaks about a dictionary where videos is set to false. That's ironic because we are taking the video of this. Pictures, you can take it because you have a print screen on your machine, or else you can take a screenshot using the different tools. Just listening and enjoying, that's what I say true. This is only if I do something in where I'm present physically and not on webinar. So you can just ignore this super warning. There's no such warning here. So this is what I have been all my life. I have been a great liar, a thief, a physical infrastructure breaker, web application hacker, mobile apps, Internet of Things. And whenever I used to see the kiosk machine in the malls or supermarket, I used to play around with them until the staff used to come and say, okay, what are you doing? And then I would say that, okay, I'm just playing, because I was a kid. So people wouldn't catch me. So I used to do a social engineering. And speaking about social engineering, what's social engineering? So it's a manipulating people, the humans, for your own benefits. So you can lie to people, or else you can extract information from people by saying something like, okay, I like you and I'm building a trust on you. And then you start trusting me. And once you start trusting me, okay, you would reveal more information compared to, uh, for instance, okay, if you did not trust me, you wouldn't reveal such information. So some disclaimer, you can just ignore this as well, because this is only in a conference where I don't share it online. It's only physically, wherever I'm present physically. So, and the second disclaimer, you can, this I'm serious about. I'm not responsible for how you use this knowledge. Don't mess with me. Sounds like a mafia now. Please don't. I would love to teach, but use it responsibly. And whatever you do with this knowledge is up to you. Legally as well, you are responsible for it. So let's move on. And this question, okay, you need to ask this question to yourself. How many of you are programmers, architects, automatons, or automators, and how many with the hacking experience? I believe that you are someone who wants to start security testing, and maybe you have done some attacks, or maybe you have read about it on news channels where there are different breaches. Every day we get to see many articles on security or data breaches. So what's hacking and what's cracking? You often hear these different terms used by your security team or people who run institutes, who say that, okay, we provide trainings, okay, we provide trainings for red team, blue team. Now let's just break all this definition into simple thing. Now there are bad guys who are trying to hack our software. And when I say hack our software, it means they are trying to gain access to our data. And that's what is important in today's world. So hackers are someone, okay, who would hack you. They could do it for their own benefits or for money, or they could do it for just for fun. And we are not here to ask these questions saying, oh, let's think about why hackers hacked our application. Because maybe we don't get to know at all. We are just thinking about multiple things, and we are saying, okay, maybe this is why, maybe that is why. But what we need to do is, how do we safeguard ourselves? So that's hacking to me. I think about defensive. And even if you see about red teams are someone in the organization who attack the application, and the blue teams focus on, in the same organization, they focus on building a defensive mechanism against those attacks. What's unauthorized access? So even in restaurants, okay, sometimes you see that, okay, no admission beyond this line, which means it's a kitchen. So you are unauthorized person to get into that space. It's the same thing with software as well. Now the software has a different rooms or different features or different roles. And what they mean is, okay, you're unauthorized. You're not an authorized person to enter this physical infrastructure, or you're not authorized to enter, use these kind of features. That's where you bring in the permission level access control and different types of access controls there to secure it, because your users will trick you and they would use your code however they want to do. I mean, they can go to developer tools, they can change things, they can change their roles. So that's why security is important, because you will never get to know what other people are going to do across the globe with your application. Now, moving on this, okay, the problems that we are facing in the industry. These are the problems that I've been seeing for last 10 years, and it has not changed. And sometimes I feel frustrated. I would like to say, yes, I am frustrated, but also I need to take care of my mental health, or else I cannot sleep. But anyways, moving on, massive skill shortage. We don't have skills. All we do is, okay, certifications. And no, maybe it will give you a paycheck, but I don't think so. Okay, you would help the world to really become secure. If we like our kids, grandkids, the next generation, I don't think so. We are working for the next generation. All we are working for is present, because even the people who ask you to practice meditation say, be in the present, right? So that's a joke. So we are focusing on what we can do and how we can get paycheck. In that case, let's forget about the next generation, because it sounds like a double standard to me. Because if we are caring about someone, okay, we are not really working for it today and just for the paycheck. I don't think so. There is some kind of a gap in this. We like our next generation, but also we want only paycheck and certifications on this side. I'm not saying that certifications are bad. What I'm saying is, maybe they can help you to find a job, or maybe it can help the company. Oh, we need a certified ethical hackers, or we need a offensive security certified professionals, OSCP. So only for that, okay, you may need, but also do it for your own integrity, not for anything else. Because at the end of the day, or at the end of the life, okay, what you would ask is, did I do what I love doing? And did I really serve my customers well, or was I happy in learning different things? And then we have very few white hat hackers who think like black hat hackers. Now there are white and there are black hat hackers. The white hat hackers are following the process. Now the black hat guys do not care about process. We say that, okay, we need to finish it in this sprint. Now you cannot finish something in a sprint, while the black hat hackers are thinking that, well, I have unlimited time and I need not impress anyone, just like my managers, my C-level management, or anything. So that's one advantage for black hat hackers. I know this because, okay, there was a transformation of myself from black hat hacking to the white hat hacking. So when I was 16, I started as a black hat. The kind of activities I used to do, uh, no comments on them, but I transformed into a white hat hacker for my own reasons. Functional testing bias. Okay, we just keep saying functional testing. I never understood, why do you call non-functional testing for security and performance? It doesn't make sense. Stop using those words. Call it as security, or else just call it as testing. We are testing to add value to our customers and the users. Okay, those are the people who pay us, and we don't want to call this as non-functional. It doesn't make sense. Uh, Fear of learning ethical hacking. Whenever you go to a security expert, they say, "Oh, well, it's difficult," right? They because they don't want you to become them. They want to be experts. And anyone who would like you to learn would say, "Okay, I know there are challenges, just like any other profession, but you can start off. Don't fear those fear mongers who exist in the industry. They would always come to you to bring you down, because that's where I call everyone is a PhD holder. Pull him down and pull her down. That's a joke that I have. And scanners just don't suffice. We need hackers. If you are only thinking about scanners, okay, let me scan this, let me scan that. No. If you could stop everything from the scanners, just think about it. If black hat hacker, then why would we see the breaches in day-to-day life? If we are sure about, okay, we have done the scanning and we are done. Scanners are nothing but, okay, they do identify some things in the code or some things which are common, but that's not what, that's not something that black hat hackers do. They go beyond it. They're explorers. They keep investigating, they get dig deeper, they are learners. And even though the kind of work they do, the world may feel that, okay, that's bad, but they are really hard workers. They study and they have a great discipline as well. Now, comfort layer, which says, okay, I'm okay to do an average job. So you know it well. Okay, we go to cafeteria and sit there and we just we just gossip. And well, if you like gossiping, that's good, but you only gossip, that's a bad thing. Okay, it's a killer for your own journey. Now, forget about these things. Okay, I'll go further. I can share the presentation as well with you guys if you want to look into this. But where I would like to show you is social engineering. No one focuses on this in the industry, manipulating the mind. So if I ask you this question, when's your birthday? You would tell it to me. Well, rather than that, I can go to Facebook or your Twitter or anywhere. All I need to do is Google search. And then I come to you and I send an email to you. Your birthday is on so and so. Okay, we want to give you some coupons. Would you like to click on this link? You would. So that's a beautiful thing about social engineering. And Kevin Mitnick, okay, who is the greatest hacker as well. His hacks were very simple, the simplistic approach, I mean, but the damage was bigger. He could get into different infrastructures. Okay, he would. It's social engineering. That's why I call this as amygdala and oxytocin. So basically, hacking your brain. Now there are different social engineering: shoulder surfing, where someone does shoulder surfing, or dumpster diving. Just go to your neighbor and look into the trash can or the dustbin. You will find a lot of information about that person. And phishing, sending a phishing emails, like the example that I gave you now. getting the birthday of someone and understanding their interests, likes. It's what Cambridge Analytica did with the political campaigns as well. So you may want to watch on Netflix. It's called as a Great Hack. So you can watch the whole Cambridge Analytica and how they really did something which is not good. And also it's called, the other one is Wishing. So burnerapp.com, okay, people used to use this, or maybe even now it's used, where you can spoof the phone numbers. And then you can call someone and say, hey, what do you think about that person, okay? And that person is you, because you want to know what this guy who is acting as a friend to you reveals the information about yourself when you spoof the phone number and pose yourself as someone else and call them. So that's social engineering. Now, let me go back and let me start showing some demonstrations here. Before that, let me see, okay, how many attendees do we have? I'm not sure. Cool, we have 12 participants. It's actually, attendees are 10, that's fine. So let's go. One of the attack where I start off with, let's say, okay, this is a bank account, right? So Altura Mutual, this is a bank account. Now what I would do here is first I would like to tour different links and say, okay, what are these things? Okay, there's a login for the bank account and other things. Now, I would like to extract the information of the technology stack itself. So I use this add-on called as Vapalizer. Now this tells me Apache Tomcat 1.1, and there's a programming language is Java for this. So if you go to chrome.google.com, Chrome Web Store, download Vapalizer. There are many add-ons like this. You can even go to the code as well, view source, and get a lot of different information. But what I use is right-click and then view source and use the developer tools. Also, I use plugins like this, Vapalizer, because they help me to get a quicker information. So let's test this search field here. Now, this is a banking site, right? So I will type finance. Now let's see, okay, what we get on the screen. So you see that, okay, we have finance here. So no results were found for the query, and it says finance. So that sounds good. Okay, there is nothing wrong with it. Now what I will do is use this character. You see this less than symbol, which looks like a HTML tag. And now I hit the go button. Surprise, okay, you don't see anything here. No results were found for the query. And I was expecting the less than symbol followed with the finance keyword here, because that's what we searched here. We searched this thing here. And it had to display this compared to what we entered first, which was finance. See here, so there is a difference. So what happened there? Okay, let's investigate that. Now, it did not show it anything because probably it's a less than symbol, the character. So let's go to developer tools. I would like to inspect, go to elements tab here. And here, I would like to find Command F. On Windows, it's Control F. What I would do is finance. Now, this is the culprit here. Do you see this? Whatever we entered in the search, it did not show up here on the UI, but actually it's injected in the code. Why it's not executing here is because it's treating this as a HTML tag. And it's not a good HTML tag because we are not ending this with a greater than symbol, which is this one. So that's why we couldn't see it there, but the attack has already happened. To see this, let's confirm this. Let's execute. I don't want to enter my name, but let's try with finance. Now, H1 tag means, okay, it will show up in a bigger text. So it's a HTML tag, which will make the text bigger, heading 1. So you have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, I think H5. So we can execute HTML here. But if I go to the programmer and say, hey, look, okay, we can execute HTML, the programmer may say, you know what? So what? Okay, it looks good here, right? So that's why we call something as an exploit. So we have to show the exploitation here. What hackers can do with this. So what I will do is input type equals to text. This is a HTML tag. Now let's say, okay, if we can create a HTML here. Look at this. I created a input box here. So this is what happens, okay, if you can do a HTML injection on your application. Now, the programmer may still say, well, you are just creating an input type here, input field. I don't see anything bad here. So then what I would do is I would create my own JavaScript. In the best interest of time, okay, I have created this. So I'm just executing it. I created a login form. Isn't this interesting? Okay, how I created a login form on the page using a search feature because there was a HTML injection allowed. Now, what I would do next is, in my report, I will say, I'm going to copy this URL, whatever is in the address bar. And then the next step, what I will do is go to tinyurl.com. And here, I'm going to shorten it. Once I shorten this, I'm going to find all the customers of Altoro Mutual through social media and social engineering, asking my friends that, oh, are you a customer of Altoro Mutual? They say yes. And I would say, okay, can you please share me your email address so that I can send something to you? And they say, sure, because they are your friends. And then after 30 days or like 15 days, because you don't want to send it right away because they will feel fishy about it. So you will wait and then send this link, the tiny URL, the shortened URL, to your friends or all the different customers. And then you say, what you need to do is, okay, if you do not update your profile settings, your account will be blocked and you are injecting the anxiousness and then they feel this panic. And all they are going to do is click on the link and they come to this website and they say, oh, this is Altoro Mutual, nothing wrong with this. No one is trying to hack me. And then they see this. Once they type in their username and password here and click on login now, in the form action here, whatever I entered from search here in this JavaScript, I have given the address as the http://santhoshtuppad.com/log this credentials. So I get the username and password of all the different customers, whoever is trying to use that link and come here and then trust this because it's Altoro Mutual and enter this and go. But this is fishy here, right? Search results and no results were found for the query. It's very simple. If you know a bit of JavaScript, what you can do is use this code in the search field or add this in your tiny URL and send it. And what it's going to do is change this to query selector. So if I go and look into this text, okay, it's a H1 tag. And if I come back to filter and say H1, so there should be only one, H1. So it says 1 of 1. So I need not really do the indexing here. So what I will do is H1. So I'll say inner text equals to, please log in here. So once I send this, now I'm just showing this in the console to demonstrate it to you. But when the attack happens, I'm sending it in this URL itself. So I do this, it changes. Now, one more thing is this text, no results were found for the query. We want to remove this as well. It's a P tag. So it's the same thing. And now I would get a P tag. What I would say here is, let me be a bit sneaky. We care for your security. Now, once you do this, okay, this is what exploits are. So you send it and people trust this. If there was search results, people would be like, okay, there's something fishy here. And then they would stop or they would write to customer support. So this is the exploit for your character injection attack. And how did it happen? Any text field. So how did we start from? Just by injecting, okay, if I want to just inject this one, image source, and go, look at that. I can load the image from any website, from any external website. Now this is bad. Now, how do you stop it? You stop it from encoding your input, encoding your output as well, the rendering as well, and escaping the dangerous characters. So that's one. So you saw the demo of how this can affect you. Now, let's go. I would like to show you something which is created by me. Some people may have already gone through this, but maybe this part you may have not seen. Let's see this. Now here, my challenge is once this loads up, tiny URL is going to my blog. Oops, what happened? It says SSL handshake failed. That's bad. We have it here. Okay, we got it. I think there is some error with the tiny URL. So here, the challenge is the password is testing, and we have to find the username here, right? So how do we find the username? Now, many people, so you can try doing this, but I'm going to steal all the fun here. Many people will try, okay, let me do this. Okay, there is no limit to the number of attempts. Okay, you click on okay. Again, you type in here testing and then do something. So we'll keep doing this again and again. But one way to do it is automation as well. But before even going to automation, so people who are automators, they say, okay, I know how to automate. But if you don't have the knowledge of what is it, what's happening in this browser, okay, what is that character? Is there a character in the first place? So I click on login, there's no limit. But let's observe here. I'm not sure, okay, if you guys are observing. Look here, okay? So when I click on login, it's so quick, right? Which means there was no server-side validation at all. So it looks like a JavaScript. So to confirm that, what I'm gonna do is go to inspect, and then look into the network here, network tab. And then I'll enter something here, and then testing, and click on login. You don't see any requests in the network tab. So that means there is no server-side validation. Now you see how I'm trying to understand the behavior of this application or the code. So if it's not doing a server-side validation, where should be this password or username? It has to be in the client-side code itself or somewhere in this machine. So that's so I narrowed it down by looking into the network tab and looking into the tab here. So I click on OK. Let me close this and say, OK, close it. Now let me go to view page source. Great. So also I have this comment line here. Oh, you think that you could crack it from the source code, just to demotivate people from looking into the source code. But actually, that's a trick. So you see that, okay, we had a password called testing, but we had to find the username. Now this is linked to the JavaScript because this comes under the script block here. Now let me try to see where is this being called. Control C, this one, Control F, Control V. Oops, buffer array, copy, and then here in the find, paste. So if I keep looking down here, enter password. So the name attribute has buffer array, which means it's testing, right? So the buffer code, if I come down, you see it here, which is username. So if I scroll back, this is the string, which is the password. So I copy this, go back, put it here, paste it, and then log in. Well, this is a surprise. It still says it's the wrong one. So how do we find this information from this? So maybe what it looks like, it's not that. It looks like a space. We tried copying it, but it's not that. But it's still that character, whatever we are seeing, but it's not the same when we copy and paste, because every web browser renders it in a different way, because everything has a different web browser engine, and it's always different. So how do we do this? Let me remove this because it's popping up and distracting me, the Facebook. So I go here, Let me clear this. Now we will see the approach of mine. So if I say document, now what this does is, okay, it gives me the whole document, whatever I see under elements or view page source, that's what the document consists of. And then there are different scripts here, mitigator, injector, these are coming from my plugins here. Don't worry about them now. Now what I need is a script here in this body section, because this is where we have this string, and we have to narrow it down and dissect it one by one so that we can actually decipher whatever this character is in those double quotes. And in JavaScript, okay, double quotes or a single quote, okay, it can be a string. So what I do now is I would extract only the script, because what we have is in the scripts block. So I do this, and you also have a property called as length. I want to see how many scripts are there. 6. Now there are 5 coming from my plugins and 1 from this document, which is this form. Now if I do document scripts only, so if I expand this, you see there are different nodes here, and JavaScript is a zero-based indexing. Now if I click on this, I think this is where our script is, and this index number is 5. What I would do here is document.scripts, then 5. All right, we got that script, whatever we want to, I mean, the weird character here. And now what we want to do is split it by, so we want inner text so that we can copy it. So we have all this inner text here. Now, again, we want to go to this line of code. For that, we are going to use a split function, and we want to split by new line character here. This is good. So there are 48 new lines, and if I expand this and every node, so if I keep scrolling, look at that. The index number 9 here, this is the character that we want. So we again go back, we chain the command, and we call 9th index. So once we are here, what do we need to split on? We just need this character here in these brackets. So we say again split, and now we want to split it by equals to sign. So now we have an array here. So there's a comma. So this is 0 because it's a zero-based indexing, and this is 1. So we need 1, and we do 1 here. We got this. Now what we need to do is, as this is a bigger, it's a long syntax, we'll put it in a variable, weird character. All right. So now if we type weird character, it holds this whole syntax here. Once we are here, we need, this is 0, 1 is the square brackets, and 2 is the double quotes, and 3. So we need the third character. So what we do now is weird character from, it's char code. Now this is a method in JavaScript which can be used to get a Unicode value of any character. So we need, the index number is 3. Now this is 160 is the Unicode value. So if we go 160 Unicode character, now this would be amazing, right? So that's no break space. So this is a character that we want. So we go back again, and then what we can do again using a JavaScript is string from character code, and that was 160, right? So we are converting it backwards. So we copy this, paste it here, and we say testing, enter. Look at that. Smart tester, you got me. So you saw that, okay, how we narrowed it down and how we were using different tools. And the tools here were, it was JavaScript using your console. And some people use a Unicode identifier plugins and everything. But I find a lot of fun in using these kind of tools like DOS commands, or it could be a black and white screen in your terminal. I also use different tools, plugins, only after I understand the foundation of how I can do it by myself rather than using the tool. Uh, Once you understand this, okay, it's easier to go here and use any tool or develop your own tools. Now, this was good. So now what we understand by this is exploration, learning, going to the Mozilla Developer Network and just identifying what does this from character code do. Well, now these characters are in the client-side code, which means it's in my machine. I can touch it. So how do I want to touch it, or what kind of tools I need to use to dissect it, and how should I get that weird character or whatever your mission is? Now let's speak about. So we learned two things: usage of tools and exploration and finding the treasure. And before this, we were on Alter Mutual, where we saw how HTML injection can affect people and how a hacker, you being a white hat hacker and going to the programmers and saying, hey, look, okay, we have a HTML injection attack here. And the programmer says, okay, give me more information. And if you can really find out the exploit, like how I showed it to you, you record it and send the video to programmer, and the programmer will be like, oh, this is really a bad one. We got to fix it very soon. So you can, now many programmers say, okay, that's a low severity or something. There's nothing called a low severity problem in security, because even the smallest thing can open the doors to bigger attacks. So think deeper, practice a lot. Now let's move on to one more attack called as, I did this, I think most of you may know this, website called as InkMonk. I'm not sure, okay, if you guys have already seen this. So let me try telling you what's happening here. So if you see on inkpunk.com, this was done in April or something when I was in Istanbul, and I reported this security bug and they fixed it now, I guess, because I spoke to the founder, but don't try to use it if it's not fixed. Legally, they got to fix it, and I think that it's been fixed. So I am cash balance. So you may have seen any e-commerce website or even banking websites and everything. So I have 1,000 rupees here. So what I'm going to show here is how we can create our own money being a black hat hacker. But I'm not doing it now, but how black hat hackers would think. So it's 1,000 now. So what I would do is I would go to account settings. And here I have an edit button. It opens up the form. Now, don't be fooled by your user interface. That's what most of you testers do. Okay, just be on the UI and go to your test cases and write it. And that's why you feel that, okay, your job is boring. It's not boring, okay? The way you are doing it is boring because the other folks are making it boring, look boring to you. It's just like influencing people. So now here you just see the 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 fields here. No, it's not actually 4 fields. Now let's see the magic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open developer tools. Let me open the developer tools. Open, okay, it's a long video. Okay, now inspect element. I go to network tab. And under the network tab, when I'm there, I will click on submit button. Now here is where the magic is. It's a put request. So if I ask this question to many people, okay, how many kinds of request methods are there? I think you will just say get method, post method, or put method. And you are testing APIs. That's scary now. Okay, if you just know just 3 or 4 HTTP methods and you don't know about how many methods exist in the web world or the mobile world or anywhere where there is a web interface, I think you should say no to API testing then, because you are doing something wrong there, because you are not really good enough to perform these tests. Now you may say that, okay, well, that gives me a paycheck, but you're not really doing a great work here. So what do you have? Did you ever try to go to any documentation and read about these methods? What's the difference between post and put? Or what is get? What is head? What is post? What is put? Options, trace, patch, delete. Now, well, you know delete, but did you know about patch? Did you know about connect? And why is connect required in the header? So anyways, you can go back and look into it if you are interested. So all I do here in the Firefox browser is edit and resend. Now here's the magic. Look at how many request parameters are there. And on the user interface, we just saw the 4 fields. But here, there is a lot of treasure. Look at this ID. Never use this sequential IDs in your application. Maybe I can try changing the profile of all the users starting from 11111 and use an iteration in my program and keep applying my name, or just say you are hacked. But that doesn't benefit me because my context was different here. So let's proceed. I don't want ID here, not interested in it. So I will proceed to the next JSON parameters in this request body. Let's go ahead. So cool. Let me forward this. Okay, you see that is blocked. Maybe I can block all the users where I make is blocked true because it's a Boolean value. And what I keep doing is I keep sending the same request body for all the IDs there, whatever we saw in the previous video, previous parameter. So let's go ahead. Not interested in this again. I keep going, I keep going, I keep going until I find some great meal. I go here, I go here, I go here. My email address. Now this is where I stop. You see this? Cashback balance. Beautiful, right? Now I can change it to anything. Look at how many zeros I added. But to be on the safer side, okay, I don't want it to create more money than InkMonk. And InkMonk would say, okay, how come this person has more than our bank balance? So that's fishy. So I refresh this after submitting it because its a put request is 200 now. Let me see, okay, if the attack really worked or not. Okay, I'm really happy now. It's 2,000 rupees. Now let me confirm by going to the cart. Look at this now. 0. I added something to the cart and I have to just pay 0 rupees. And I can keep buying the products. I can become a Robin Hood for the poor people. I can keep buying products and sending it to some other address and they wouldn't even catch me, right? This is how black hat hackers think. They don't want to order it for themselves, but give it to the other people. Well, not everyone. There are people, okay, who would demand ransom from you. Now, this is API testing. So how many times, okay, do you go to your Firefox and keep doing these attacks? Just go to edit and resend and keep doing it. So let's see one more. Let's go back to our slides to see what else do we do wrong? Where can you start from? It's all social engineering and being curious to see. It's not difficult. It's challenging. So no job is difficult. If it's difficult, probably you don't like it. And well, every profession had challenges. So I call them as challenges rather than calling it's easy or difficult. So it's not about easy. Some people say, oh, well, it's easy job. No, it's actually you see it as easy because you're not doing a good job. You don't see challenges. So anyway, so let's go ahead. I would like to show you something. Now, you speak about tools. Go to this. There are many tools. Okay, it's not about tools. It's about the mindset. I keep repeating this. I've been doing this for the last 10 years, and it has been difficult. And sometimes it makes me feel so exhausted. It's about practicing the different patterns in your brain, seeing details, seeing tiny details, seeing why is it put request, why is it get, what's happening, how many requests are coming in the network tab. Can I tamper with this? Can I click on edit and resend and go to this HTTP method and replace post with delete? Can I delete my own profile even though the application doesn't give me the feature of deleting my own account? So there are many things that you can drill down. Now look at this. These are tools for social engineering. Now OSINT means open source intelligence. So gathering the information before you are performing an attack. And so many people go on Stack Overflow and ask a question. So if you are working for a company X, and then you go to Stack Overflow and are asking some question, I know that, okay, you are working on this firewall in your company. How will I get to know? After I go to your Stack Overflow, look at the question, I will go to your LinkedIn profile. Once I go to your LinkedIn profile, I get to know you're working in this company and your question is coming from that company. Why would you go to Stack Overflow most of the times? You found a problem in your work and then you go. So that's how you create a web and connect this web, and then you start getting the answers. And look into this. There are many tools for OSINT. You can go identify what are the interests of people, how to find the phone numbers, search engines, video cameras which are open, the ports are open, email addresses. Great. Speaking about email addresses, okay, I would like to show you something. Let's go to hunter.io. So we are on this website. So what you've got to do here is, it's simple. All you need to enter is, now let's try doing a TestTribe.com itself. I entered the test type. I want to know the email address of test type. Look at that. Interesting, right? How to get the email addresses of the test tribe, whoever is on the test tribe. I never knew Paras was on the test tribe email account. Now I know he holds an email account. Paras Pundir, I guess. Okay, who's the community guy, amazing guy. And contact, and Mahesh. We all know Mahesh, the famous guy. So you can go ahead and do these kind of things. Just sign in, free plan. Enter any domain here and it will show you. And sometimes this is a bit crazy, but I'll show you what's the funny thing here. Let me log out. Let's say I would like to get the TestInsane.com, which was my previous company. I don't do business on that now. Right here. Now there is some characters here behind this, and they're replacing everything when I select it by A, and that's when they blur. Now there is one more email address here, right? So what I do here, even though they have replaced it with A and they're blurring it out, I go on Google search, enter this. Okay, this is not good. Now let's go back to the Hunter and then do this one here. One is you can do a guesswork. I go here. Look at that. Did you mean? Thanks to Google. Google helps always, right? So even if you copy it and do something, because Google holds a lot of different data of all our people, well, that's a different subject. So sales@testinsen.com. See how easy it is, even if it's a trial version, okay, even if you're not logging in. And you get the format. So you can try it for anything. And let's say, okay, there are how many subdomains exist on your company name. What I do always, and all I'm doing here is gathering the intelligence information. I go here, and we don't even know how many companies have subdomains. If I ask the same question to you, how many subdomains are on your server? And then you will be like, oh, well, 3, 5, 7. But can you exactly tell me how many are there, even on the web, and how hackers can even look into this information? So let me try showing this. You can try it with your own domain name or anything. TheTestTribe.com. I search. Look at that here. Now, this subdomain names, the test away, I cannot find it anywhere, but I can find it from the securitytrails.com. Enter the domain name. You get all the historical data. I get even the web panel and the C panel as well, where you can log in through your hosting. Mail, which means, okay, there's a web mail, and there's a web mail as well. And I can also tell you, okay, where this hosting, who is the hosting provider. And also you can look into the DNS records. So if you look in the MX records, these are mail exchange records. I don't think so, okay, the test type is using Google services for this because it's using a soft layer. So now you see how you connect the different webs, and then you start thinking about different test ideas. It's not just sitting in front of your screen and saying, okay, I'm seeing here, I'm bored now. So that's why whenever you go back home, okay, you feel that you don't have a sense of accomplishment. Many other things keep bombarding you in your head because you're not excited. So that's security trails. Let me see. Okay, looks like there's something here. Maybe someone is asking me to stop. Great. What is raw and unencoded data? Raw is okay. Let me take questions for a while. Okay, then I will start speaking about the other thing. We can see what is raw and or unencoded data. I really do not understand this question. Raw. Can you give me an example, Dhanalakshmi? What I'm trying to say is raw is something raw. Unencoded means it's raw still. All right. Okay, Vinay Pandey, very interesting. Please let us know how I can learn all this. That's a good question. Okay, how about watching the criminal movies on Netflix or YouTube? Okay, I watch Border Security. So let me type it on YouTube. I watch Scorpion, which is a series, and I watch hacking movies. Okay, if you search for top 10 hacking movies, okay, you'll find it. And then I like watching Money Heist. Okay, so you start getting ideas. Okay, just like breaking into physical infrastructure, and you can start talking to people. Try social engineering your friends. Try watching the videos. You have to start from documentation as well, understanding how the web works. If you don't, how can you learn about all these things? There is no one silver bullet. Okay, you can learn about the OWASP top 10 attacks, but also what you can do is the starting point can be OWASP, Open Web Application Security Project. So if you are able to see my screen, go to this and start following every cheat sheet series. I also, I have contributed securing the CSS files here. Look at this. Okay, you have all the cheat sheets here. Start looking into them and practice. And you can practice on many other sites like OWASP, WebGoat, or a Juice Shop as well. There are many sites. It's not about practicing there. It's about how many hours do you spend every day? Ask this question to yourself. If you are asking me this question, how can I learn all this? Can you spend 3 hours every day, even after coming from office? If your answer is yes, then I think you know the answer then. And there's a lot of information around you. So unencoded data is unencoded. I don't understand what is raw. Raw is raw. Okay, if you see whatever you are sending, it's raw data. If it's unencoded, which that also means raw data. Encoded means, okay, you are doing a base 64 encoding or using MD1, MD3, MD5 hashing. That's the thing. So, Mahesh, you there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have done 1 hour. I would like to see more questions here. While I also like to speak about, I would share the presentation. It's an 80 slide presentation where you also have, let me try to find that information for you, Vinay, where I've spoken about. So in plain text, there's a password story as well. We always do it wrong. If you say that 8 characters minimum, 1 special character, 1 lowercase, 1 uppercase. So what I would do is India@123. It has 8 characters. It has uppercase. It has a lowercase. It has the @ symbol. Is it a strong password? No, it's not. But that's what we do in our applications. And you can look into this presentation. You can download it from my site. I'll tell you where you can download it from. Okay. Now, is this a safe password? No, it's not. So there is no secure password as of now today. So there are some mathematical computations in terms of how much time does it take. MD5, if you are using MD5, just kick it out. It's not going to help. Script is good. Bcrypt is good as well. So they are the slow algorithms for a reason, because it will stop hackers from dehashing. There's no concept called as dehashing. It's a long string, and they have to get a password out of it. Now let's go. There are different mutations. Now this was a funny thing. Never use cat's name as a password, but I don't care is a great name for the pet. Between, do you have a dictionary for this? So someone asked this question in one of the blog posts, and the response was, well, we have added it, change your password. So do not reveal your mutations, your secrets. Dictionary attack, okay. This is a tool that people can use for getting the hashes, getting the passwords out of hashes. In this slide, there are many things. All right. I'm just trying to get whatever you asked for, how you can learn. Well, you can learn from this presentation itself. Whenever these are like 80 slides, okay, you can see, go to these websites and go to this website. I have the practice sites as well. Like you have at least 50 of them. And OWASP is one. Start from somewhere, Chrome, your plugin. Okay. So I think I'll be sharing this presentation with you guys, this one, whatever you are seeing on the screen now. But go to this cheat sheets. For instance, how many times do you go to your cookie values? If I go, just let me know, okay, if you have ever done this. You just say, okay, we have cookies, right? And you are very much comfortable with them. But were you curious to understand what's inside the cookie? No one. So if I go, did you even go to application here and see, okay, what are the cookies? Now don't tell me that, okay, well, I do go to this tab called as application and look into the cookie values, because this was a requirement in my company. If you are saying it was, your learning was through a requirement in a company, it's not your learning. I'm not really excited about it. So what are those things where you learned on your own by exploration? So here we have cookie values, right? So let me dock it to bottom. Bottoms. Okay. So we have this JSession ID and Altoro accounts. Oh, well, it's secure because I see something like mumbo jumbo and I don't understand what it is, but it's secure. This is what we see. Once we start seeing, the programmer is trying to show that it's secure, and we always buy whatever the programmer wants us to see. He wants us to see 6, of course we'll see 6 while it's 9 actually. What I would do here is extract the same thing here, cookie. So we have this cookie here. And here, how many cookies do we have? Altoro accounts. This is only 1. So to confirm that, I would just use a length property. Okay, it's getting somewhere else. Document.cookie, I want to split it by, again, do split by equals 2. Great, I got this. Now I want 1, the first one. So I go here, 1, first index. I got this. Now what do I do with this? So if I go do B to A, let me store this in var cookie value. So if I do a cookie value here, it's gonna display this. So B to A is a method. It's a function actually. So where you can, this one is, I think let's try A to B. Bit of confusion here. No, A to B also doesn't. It's actually B to A. But what's happening here is we need only until here. It's also considering the other value. So let's take this B to A. Paste this off. Nope, it doesn't work. So what this is trying to do here is see if I can try doing decoding here from the cookie values. So this is the cookie value. Or maybe this still works because equals to, based on my experience, is a base 64. So you can use online decoders as well, but what I use is just the DevTools. Put it here. Look at this. We still did not get anything. The reason we did not get is maybe there is something else that we need to get. Look at this. It's actually A to B. That's how you decode. When you say B to A, actually encode. These are the functions in, it's a JavaScript function. Now we see that, okay, you got your credit card number here. Interesting. Checking account, how many. So what these guys are doing is they're taking all this, the programmer is taking this and converting it to a base 64, which is bad. Maybe your application programmers are also doing this, but you never did it because your application here showed you something else. Oh, this is encrypted because this looks crazy. So yeah, so start using different things. How do you learn it? It's around you. Why don't you start from your application, asking questions to people? Are you doing SQL injection really well, the query parameterization? Are you doing encoding? We don't speak to the programmers at all, do we? We just go to meetings, stand-up meeting, everyone stand up. Okay, my frustration has to be in a different session altogether. So I'm going to stop here. So Mahesh, you can intervene and tell me, okay, what do we do next?
I think we can start taking the questions I have posted on Facebook as well.
Test type?
Yeah, so I'm copying the questions for you in the chat session only. You should be able to see here.
Cool. Alrighty. Facebook.com. Oh, you're pasting it here.
Yeah, on the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. Now, did you know about this thing? Okay, on the Facebook.com. Let me close it. Let me open the incognito. Can you see incognito?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think is, okay, this is the guy I hate. Look at the spy here. You are incognito. Makes me feel scary. Now, have you ever gone to Facebook console? If you go to console, it says stop here. Now, the reason it says stop is, okay, people can hack using the console itself. Someone will tell you, can you go and open this console and paste the JavaScript here and hit enter. Once you hit enter, you are being attacked. I'll show you the demonstration in the last, just to leave you with a different kind of attack, but let's take questions now. Great. Let me scroll up. On Facebook, does our registry plays any role preventing attacks? I do not understand that questions. What do you mean by registry? I'm going to the next one. I'm not security tester, but we got user story for testing cross-site scripting vulnerability. I want to write test scenarios. What all scenarios we can derive for test box? I understand my question may not be very specific due to limited knowledge. I think so. You should stop writing the test scenarios here because one has to learn JavaScript here, not write test scenarios. Once you have that knowledge, what I do is I go to naughty strings. Simple, GitHub. I go to naughty strings, and there are many. So if I go to here, I take this, I put it in my automation, and then it runs. And then I look into the results. So if I go down here, look at this. There are so many cross-site scripting attacks. You cannot even write all these things because there's so many. Keep going, keep going. Look at this. They're already done. What you can do is learn how your programmer is writing JavaScript. Not write test scenarios. If your manager is someone telling you, it just means that, okay, your manager doesn't understand it and asking you to do something, that's ugly. So that's my answer to that. Okay, there are many payloads. We call them as payload. You can call it as test data as well. It's just take it and run it. Stop writing your test scenarios. What you will end up doing is only write, okay, script, alert, document.cookie. That's what you are going to end up with. Explore the web. You will get a lot of things. Explore Stack Overflow. Talk to your programmer saying, are you doing input encoding and output encoding really well? If that person is really doing it very well, you need not be, I mean, that's a mitigation. That's a first step, a question. But if you are shy speaking to a programmer, then you got a bigger problem. So I would go to the next one from Ajay. Ajay, I think, okay, we got to speak, okay, on a different call on this. Yeah, but anyways, what can be the worst here if we constantly keep testing with this mindset? Oh, was it a question? What can be the worst here if we constantly keep testing? Yeah, exactly. We can do well. If I would use it as a quote. I hope I understood it really well. So hold on, guys. Okay, don't keep bombarding. I need to read the other things as well. Hi, Santhosh. I'm your big fan. How to get into security testing as security domain is huge. Every domain is huge, Nawaz. And thanks to you for retweeting and liking all my posts on LinkedIn. I remember you very well. Whenever I see, okay, there is a notifications, I think that, okay, it's Nawaz who is retweeting. Thank you. And how to get into security testing. It's not a domain because black hat hackers, they did not have anyone to teach them. It was a curiosity. After reading every blog post, would you go and look into different things? Okay, what's happening here? Can I try doing this in my application? Are we doing it right? How many programmers are you speaking to? It's all around you. There is no entry barrier to anything as long as you want to learn. I don't know where to start, begin, any pointers. Well, starting OWASP, documentation, reading the hack stories on Reddit. These are in my presentation, which I'll be sharing in the end. Mahesh will be sharing with all of you. And pointers, movies, like I told you about when I was answering Vinay. And also saying, oh, it cannot happen. When people tell me, oh, it cannot happen, and I'm like, really? Also questioning anything and everything. Why it cannot happen? If the manager comes to us and says, oh, well, it's not a bigger severity, then what I would tell him is, well, you know what? I would rephrase it as, you cannot see it, but maybe if we spend more time, maybe the black hat hacker can see it beyond what you are trying to see. And you cannot see it as severe, but we have to think about it. And if it's something, even if we don't severity, but we can fix it, go ahead and fix it because we don't know the unknowns. Let's close the doors. If the door is open, let's close it rather than spending like many hours on fighting for, okay, should we fix it or not? Just directly speak to the programmer, fix it in a few minutes, and you're done. The tiny loopholes, I mean. Nawaz, I think that should help where you've got to start from. If you need anything, okay, just ping on Twitter, tweet. It is important to learn JavaScript to be a security tester. No, it's not. Is it important for a human being to eat only these kind of foods? No, it's not. It's a context. So what I would like to say is it's not about JavaScript. It depends on what context, how do you understand? If you ask me to learn Python tomorrow, because of the context, I can learn it. The reason I can learn it is, okay, because I have got the foundation of it. And today, you ask me to learn anything, okay, I can learn it. Just give me some time, and I would do it. So it's not important. If you're working with mobile apps or web applications or Internet of Things, wherever there's a web connections and there are JavaScript frameworks, well, learning JavaScript can help you because that's where the code has been written for your front end. Nowadays, you can use the uh, Node.js to do the client and server side as well. So it can help you based on the context. And it can, well, I started learning JavaScript not to learn security testing because it's fascinating. I did not learn to hack because I wanted to do this or that, because it felt great inside me. I learned testing not because, well, I needed some job. I did it because I felt that you cannot explain it. Okay, it's an inner guidance. Okay, you feel it deeper, and I cannot explain it. So go ahead and learn for yourself, because when you are in your 70s or 60s and you are asking this question to yourself, oh, did I do it well? You wouldn't say that, okay, I learned this because I got a huge paycheck. You would say, I learned this thing because it made me feel good. That's the way to live, at least to me. So Nawaz says, sure. The test type, Arjun BM on Facebook asks, what are the other common add-ons for social engineering? Let us know if any other. I think I already answered this, Arjun. OSINTframework.com. You got everything there. It's a mind map. You just go there and OSINTframework.com. In my presentation, you can find it. Let's not only have the tools thing. You can explore them. Let's have different kind of questions. My question is slightly broader, probably a bit philosophic. Okay, I love philosophy, but also science as well. What is your take on zero trust security? It's a zero trust security or zero base security? Would security continue to be an illusion? Industry continues to churn new terminologies. All right, got it. Now, zero trust. I don't know about zero trust security. What do they mean? If you can help me with that. So, would security continue to be an illusion? Well, philosophical. Maybe I'll get into philosophy now. I think everything is an illusion if I have to get to that level, like be a spiritual thinker. But let me speak in a scientific way. Many people say, okay, we have done all these security requirements and we are good with it and we are safe. SSL is an illusion. SSL stops you only from man-in-the-middle attacks, not anything else, not cross-site scripting, not cross-site request forgery, no the click checking attacks or the UI redressing attacks. It doesn't stop. And some people would still continue to fall into the trap, and they would always start crying like a baby when the breaches happen. So why don't you build a security team in your organization? Have you ever asked this question to your managers? Do we have security requirements? Are we doing authentication really well? Are we doing the query parameterization really well? Uh, 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 let's leave the model aside. There are many models, and every model has a flaw. It's whatever suits in your context. Let me read it well. And terminologies, how does it matter? Tomorrow for biryani, I may call Santhosh. Well, don't eat me, but it's just a word, okay? Do you understand the concept? And does everyone have in your team have the shared understanding of what do you mean when you use this word? That's the thing. We cannot fight over the semantics and syntax of the grammar or your terminologies. Industry will always do it. It's just like the agile. Okay, are you Scrum certified trainer? Who needed it? No one. If you did your job really well, if people communicated with each other, if you were a learner, I don't think so. You need anything to do the job right. Zero trust is a security model based on the principle of maintaining strict access. Uh, Just doing your access control, right? And having your network penetration testing well to me. No models or anything. I don't follow any model. I'm the technicless guy. Many people hate me for being this, but I love being it because it's freedom. You are not restricted by anything. And that's when I save my clients. And there have been situations where my clients were like, okay, we need you. Okay, even though you are on a holiday, come back and be on this project. Because I'm unconventional. Conventional is boring. Yeah. Cool. Next question, please. If none, Mahesh, I would like you to come back on the call here. And if there are sub questions, please do ask. I will speak until 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. on my watch, which should be 8:30 on your watch. Any other questions? Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm just checking if we have any unanswered question on Facebook.
And one more thing is, okay, you can visit me at work2code.com/blog. I write security blog posts there and other things as well. The tiny things.
Yeah, so there is a question by Ali around same topic. He's asking if you have any YouTube channel or any repository which you maintain.
YouTube channel. I have started it. All you can do is, okay, you can subscribe to Santhosh Tuppad. I'll just share the link here. So if you go to YouTube, I have started it. Okay. So there are some videos which are not really good. They're crappy, but you can watch them if you want. Basically, they are the full disclosures of whatever hacks I did without audio. Okay. So today we released with Rajesh Mathur, I think this video. So this is the one. So go here. So this is something that I'm trying to do, and also create different videos as well on different subjects. Let's say, okay, we pick robots.txt file. What does it do and how does it connect to the security? So just a 5 minutes videos or 10 minutes on the same topic rather than switching to different topics. So I think this is the channel. I have got very few subscribers, but with your help, I can get more. Help me. So you can just search for this link, or else I'll send this link to Mahesh. I think it's already on TestTribe group. Yeah. So you can subscribe and you keep getting every week notifications if you want to receive. Yeah, that's the answer. Thanks, Oli.
Perfect. So I don't see any new question on both the channels.
Okay.
Guys, last 20 seconds probably, if you have anything.
I can wait for next 1 minute to 2 minutes. Ask anything that you have, whatever you are feeling. Practice, practice, practice. All right. Can you? Okay. That's a link. Any plans to write book? Yes, it should be published before November. A tiny book, like 100 pages, before November. Do you use Kali Linux for testing? I use the different tools. Kali Linux, okay, may have a lot of different tools from the GitHub. So it's not necessarily coming from Kali Linux is a big tool or something. It's the idea, Vinay. You cannot really, even though you have a great tools, scanners, but if you don't have an idea, you cannot fight black hat hackers. It takes a great amount of practice, exploits. Kali Linux, there is a Kali Linux which was called as a backtrack Linux. Okay, there are different tools, Rapid 7. There are many, but don't get intimidated by all these tools. First thing is, can you think hacking. That's how I learned hacking. I used to steal from the shops. I used to steal chocolates. So that's when whenever someone was a thief, okay, they are my best friends. You can join the community here. Okay. Vinay, you can join the community there. Please do. And you will receive a lot of good information. The group is really doing well and they are active always in India. They will also get global soon. Hopeful. So in this channel, okay, I have some videos as well. If you wanted to go ahead and look into the different videos, I was the guy who hacked the U-test as well. So you can look into my playlist as well. So U-test hacked. So you can just watch. It's the same thing again with the developer tools where I hacked the admin of U-test or Applause. Now it's called as Applause. They just sent me one T-shirt, even though I hacked the admin. That was bad. Just one T-shirt. The package looked bigger. The content was smaller. You look here. So there are different. I log in as an admin for U-test. Look at this. Okay, I had the payments and everything. You can look at this. Look at this video. I could transfer all the payments to me every month. I reported because those are my ethics and principles. Okay. Madhu on Facebook asks, waiting to hear about the Facebook console. Okay, cool. Oh, thanks, Madhu, for reminding me about this. Okay, now I'll show it to you. So let me minimize this, come back here. Now, I created my own plugin. Now, let's not speak about the plugin now. Let me go to Chrome extensions. Then I will load the unpacked version of my plugin. It's called as a Chrome security checker or the tester plugin. So once I do this, there's a test man here. I can send this plugin to all of you if you want to use this plugin in your security testing. So I go here. Okay, coming back to what Facebook said. So Facebook said, all right, let me go to Facebook. If I go to console, when I go to console, when anyone opens this, okay, it says stop, right? If I go to console, or maybe it did not say it. Damn it, even it's not really working well, or maybe it's loading still. So it says stop, do not execute anything, or maybe you are hacked because someone is asking you to copy and paste some JavaScript. Look at this. You can try it on this thing as well. Now I will show why this one, why every application has to put this in the console log through the JavaScript. Now, let's say I'm on the login. Let's assume that this is a bank. I enter Madhu, and I'll enter some password, @123. I like this @123. Most of you have the password ending with a number, and it's not more than 9 characters. I know that, okay, you are nodding. Yeah, it's true. But let me go to inspect. Do you see anything wrong here on the UI? Nothing is wrong, right? Everything is cool. But if I go to inspect console, now what has happened is the attack has already happened. I enter the password. I say M. Do you see it here? MADHU @123. It has been sending that all these characters. So if I say A, look at this, A. It's a keylogger. Look at this. I enter whatever in the text fields, in the search box or anywhere, it's being sent to 127, which is a local host. It's not configured. That's why it's saying error connection refused. But if I make this local host as santhoshtuppad.com, I will receive all whatever you are entering in your whole browser, because I have infected your browser with this plugin called as Testman. I told you that I'm going to send this plugin to you. You can use it in your security testing. No, I'm not going to send it, because if I had sent it, you would trust me, you would install the plugin, and all your keystrokes would come to me. So these are the attacks. That's why Facebook says, okay, do not execute any script here. But also, it cannot stop you if you have installed some plugin. What I will do is, hey, Madhu, I understand that, okay, you are a vegan fan. You like eating vegan. And then you're like, yeah. And because I got to know that from your Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or any such social media. And once you like it, because you're passionate about eating vegan, what I'm trying to do here is social engineering. Once you do that, you will click on the link, it gets installed here, and I'll put some vegetables here as an icon. And you say, oh wow, it's a vegan icon. When you mouse over, it says vegan 1.0. We will send you some coupons. First, I will send you an email, phishing email. You click on the link, it comes here and says, you mouse over, it says, we are working on the coupons. Maybe in 1 week, we'll send it to you. No, actually, this plugin is working on your credentials and whatever keys you are typing in there. So that's why it starts even from the console. How to stop this? You have something called as form action under. So what you do is you set it to self. This is a whitelisting, which comes under content security policy. I'm just typing it here. Yeah, so just go to Mozilla Developer Network. And this plugin, if you go to airport or hotels, the business hotels, okay, you go there, you can just install this plugin, and anyone who logs in, that's why do not use business computers or the airport computers. Free internet, well, free. You will get to know only after a few days whether it was free or something else. So go to here, developer network, and check for HTTP headers. You will read about every HTTP header here and see how HTTP headers can impact your testing and how you can find the bugs in the HTTP headers. You can go dig deeper. Okay, let me see. Okay, if you have any other questions here. Madhu on Facebook, waiting to hear about the Facebook console. I think, okay. Deep, does our registry play any role preventing attacks? Okay, for now, are you speaking about the web, mobile, or the registry of your desktop applications? No, it doesn't stop anything. Antivirus can, but if you see the other video on my YouTube, which no, it doesn't stop anything. Those are the policies for the employees where you stop something, but you can even bypass the policies if you understand the Windows programming or the hooks as well. So registry entries may act like a restriction or a firewall, but you can bypass them. For instance, the keylogger that I showed you just before a few seconds, it cannot be stopped from antivirus, but I'm stealing all your credentials wherever you're logging in, be it your banks or be it your hospitals or anything. So you have to build a security inside your application, not rely on external things like antivirus. You can rely on them. It's a plan B. All these registry entries or anything, they are plan Bs. Did you do enough security for your application is the question. Balaji asked, where would we get the PPT from? That's a good question. So you would get it right away. Cool. Let me try. Okay. Let me stop sharing for a while, and let me get the link there. Stop sharing, stop sharing. Can I upload this and then share it with you? Mahesh, what I'll do is I will upload this on my website and I'll give you the link, and then people can just visit this link and then they can download. And if you are not on the TestTribe group, okay, go there, like it, so that you can see the link, which will be posted in next 15 minutes after this call. Yeah.
Yeah, that would do.
Cool.
So I think that's pretty much on the questions side. So
Great.
thank you, Santhosh, a lot. I think this was one of the most interesting session I have personally attended. It
Cool.
was hands-on. I was
Yeah.
also scared when you were doing stuff around the TestTribe.com.
Well, not
Yeah.
deeper. I will stop.
So
I
yeah,
don't
deeper,
hack my.
deeper we can always go offline, and I can get help from you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't hack my brother's websites. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a
And
lot. And yeah,
thank
I think that's pretty much on the question side. So thank you all the participants, both on Zoom and Facebook. Thank you for being here, and wish you all a lovely Saturday evening, and
Great.
wish you a wonderful day, Santosh.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And get on Twitter, get on, talk to people. Get on Twitter. You can reach me faster than anywhere else. Done. Thank you. Cheers.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks, Srihari. Thanks, Arjun. Thanks, Monil. Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, John. Everyone. Bye.